A country is in trouble when its own soldiers start jumping off buildings. Its people are protesting in the streets, and the world is lining up to recognize the enemy it's been trying to erase for decades. Yeah, that's Israel right now. One by one, the shots keep piling up. Israel thought it could just roll into Gaza, finish the job, and claim victory. Instead, it's facing suicide among its own troops, rockets raining down, chaos in West Bank, and protests not just from Palestinians but from Israelis themselves. And while all this is happening, Britain, Canada, France, Australia, they are literally standing up and saying, "We are recognizing Palestine as a state." That's not just a diplomatic slap in the face, that's a whole global middle finger to Tel Aviv. Let's start with the ground situation. In Ashkelon, Israeli-controlled territory, a soldier ended his life. Suicide. Why? Because the pressure, the trauma, the hopelessness. It's eating their own system from inside. And while this is happening, Gaza is not stopping. Rockets are being launched, one intercepted, another landing, over and over again. Now pause for a second. Israel has Iron Dome, the most advanced missile defense system in the world. But Gaza, with limited resources, under blockade, under rubble, they are still managing to keep the attacks coming. That's not just a military strike, that's psychological warfare. That's saying, you can bomb us all you want, but we are still here. Imagine this, you're in Ashdod, in Tel Aviv, in the so-called safe parts of Israel. Suddenly, the air raid siren goes off. Everyone runs for cover. Children cry, families hide in bunkers. And then you ask, wait a second, isn't this exactly what Palestinians live with every single day? That's the part nobody in the Israeli government wants to admit. For the first time in decades, Israelis are tasting just a fraction of the fear they've been inflicting on Palestinians daily. And the truth is, some Israelis are done with it. In Tel Aviv, it's not Hamas protesting, it's Israelis. Ordinary citizens are marching, demanding their government handle this mess properly, stop the endless war, and bring back hostages alive. This is the irony. The same government that promised security and safety is now being accused by its own people of delivering nothing but chaos. The anger has gotten so raw that clashes are happening, not just with Palestinians, but between Israeli protesters and Israeli security forces. When your own citizens are fighting your own police in the middle of a war, that's not unity, that's collapse. And it doesn't stop there. Israel is losing the propaganda war. In Mexico, people are outside the Israeli embassy protesting. In Turkey, massive demonstrations are erupting. The images of bombed-out children, destroyed hospitals, and starving families are resonating globally. And then you have this insane scene. Israeli influencers literally mocking starving Palestinian kids, laughing, making fun. That clip went viral and the outrage was brutal. Because let's be real, you can justify military strategy all you want, but when you're caught laughing at kids who can't eat, that's not defense, that's cruelty, and cruelty has consequences. Now here's the biggest blow. For decades the dream of Palestinians was recognition, a state of their own, but the US always blocked it, Israel always blocked it. The narrative was peace talks first, recognition later, but now the world is skipping the script. Britain, yes, the same Britain that carved up the Middle East in the first place, says it's ready to recognize Palestine. Canada says the same. France says the same. Australia rejected US pressure and said, nope, we are doing it too. 10 countries lined up. That's not a coincidence. That's a coordinated diplomatic rebellion against Washington and Tel Aviv. And when the West itself starts recognizing Palestine, that means the tide has turned. This isn't about just Palestine anymore. This is about global legitimacy. Israel is losing it and fast. Meanwhile, Turkey is battling wildfires. Venezuela is flexing its military against US pressure. Afghanistan is rejecting American demands for bases. Everywhere you look, countries are saying we're not listening to Washington anymore. And that's a nightmare for Israel, because Israel doesn't just survive on its own power, it survives on American cover. But if that cover starts to peel away, if more countries start calling Gaza occupied Palestine instead of Hamas territory, then Israel's entire strategy falls apart. And here's the kicker. While all this is happening, Trump is doubling down, is pushing fees, threatening Afghanistan, and basically alienating allies. But guess what? The world is no longer scared of America the way it used to be. People see a desperate superpower. They see Trump trying to manage multiple crises and failing at all of them. And Israel is caught in that storm. If the US looks weak, Israel looks weaker. Now let's talk geopolitics. Putin is watching. Russia's already compared Israeli actions to genocide. If Russia steps even harder, arming Palestine indirectly or diplomatically cornering Israel, Tel Aviv is going to feel the heat like never before. Qatar has already called on Israel to stop the Gaza operation. The Arab world is restless. Saudi Arabia just signed a defense pact with Pakistan. You think that's unrelated? No, that's the region preparing for big moves. So here's the reality. Israel is not the invincible power it used to be. Its soldiers are exhausted, its people are divided, its allies are turning skeptical, and globally Palestine is being recognized not as a terrorist problem, but as a nation deserving statehood. This is the biggest narrative shift in decades. For years, Israel's line has been, we are defending ourselves. But now the world is asking, defending yourself from what? A state that doesn't even officially exist yet? A people you have kept under siege for 75 years? And when even Britain, the country that literally invented your borders, decides to recognize Palestine, the story has flipped. The truth is simple. Israel thought it could erase Palestine. But in trying to erase it, it might have just helped the world finally recognize it. This isn't just a war anymore. It's a reckoning, and Israel might not be ready for the answers.